It's a good thing Trixie had confirmation of that first bolt. Otherwise, all this wouldn't have been possible.
I got it! I know what startled Sonata here. Not only that, but I can clear up another mystery, too.
Please, do go on, Mr. Wright.
Let's think back to yesterday. We had a certain little witness confirm the time of the first bolt for us.
Oh, you mean that cute filly?
Yes, Your Honor. Applebloom. Applebloom was lost in the forest for quite some time, when all of a sudden, she bumped into something.
We've already concluded that was irrelevant information, though.
Not exactly. Because I think the thing Applebloom bumped into is right there on the stand. Let's bring ourselves back to that night.
Johon se törmäs. Se piti törmätä siis
lost in the
johonkin.
forest and bumped into something she couldn't see, making it jump from what she described. Suddenly she sees a large flash of light she thought was light, but was actually the teleportation spell.
Uh-oh, looks like he
Juuri niin kuin äsken sanoin.
Sonata was preparing to teleport to the hotel room, no doubt. But she was startled by Applebloom bashing into her out of nowhere and lost her focus. Applebloom ended up being an unintentional stowaway during Sonata's incomplete teleportation spell. The interruption sent them both not to Sonata's room, but right near Fluttershy's cottage. That's why Fluttershy didn't see Applebloom leave the forest. Sonata brought her out by teleporting. Drained after using an advanced spell,
Niin,
being
juuri
next to a
näinhän tämä
blind,
asia menee.
disoriented filly. Sonata had no choice but to run eastward with a golf club in her mouth. Applebloom, however, walked home to Sweet Apple Acres in the south.
This is ridiculous. You have no proof I did this.
No point in denying it anymore. We all know you were in that forest, Four Eyes. So why don't you be a good little pony and come clean? All we need is
Four Eyes, koska sillä on söpösmerkki
Unless you care to explain
silmänä.
where you've seen that golf club before?
This also explains how the filly escaped the forest undetected.
Se jäi kiinni jo.
Exactly. This is the best explanation we have.
You're caught, Sonata. Time to face the music. What were you doing in the forest that night?
I refuse to testify. I reserve the right to remain silent in any case where my testimony could lead to self-incrimination.
Oh, please. Perhaps Trixie can once again enlighten every pony.
Yksi neljäsosa katsottu videosta. Mielenkiintoista.
Business pony here has a gloomy secret. Trixie's brilliant mind was able to find this out yesterday after the
Tässä olisi jo
conclusion
ensimmäinen osa
analysis
itse
of
asiassa.
that filthy griffin feather.
This has to do with why she was in the
Aikapäiviä
forest?
ollutkin jo.
Yes, it does. Little Miss Sonata here is a dirty blackmailer.
Jos tässä tulee vielä se, missä paikkaa vaihdetaan, niin sitten mä lopetan siihen. Tai sitten mihin mä lopetan.
Of course Trixie knew. Why do you ask, Mr. Wrong?
I was kind of saving that information for my ace in the hole.
Too late, Trixie beat you to it. Trixie knew those pictures of rainbow trash had something to do with this. So Trixie simply asked the local developers for a record of their clients.
Why didn't I think of that?
And they told Trixie it was you, Four Eyes. Trixie simply connected the dots to why this manager of an undefeated athlete would develop pictures like those. She and the victim were in cahoots with each other, blackmailing rainbow trash and probably many more throughout the late Mr. Swift's career.
Might I ask, if the prosecution and defense knew about this, well, why didn't they bring it up sooner?
Trixie could have spoken for Mr. Wrong, but she didn't because the situation didn't call for it. Trixie didn't believe there was a way this witness could have been in the forest, but we seem to have proven otherwise.
And I couldn't because, she was blackmailing me.
You let her blackmail you? Wow, you really are a loser.
Miss Sonata, were you blackmailing the defense's client?
No, I wasn't. I would never do anything like that.
These papers say otherwise. I found all these in Sonata's hotel room, and this particular letter. Blackmailing my client matches Sonata's writing.
There you have it. Trixie has used her brilliance to triumph over a snide liar.
Miss Sonata, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Taking advantage of others like that?
No, saa aika helposti sen kiinni.
Spare me. You've finally proven I was in the forest and that I was blackmailing your client. But that hardly makes me a murderer.
We'll see about that. Let's hear what you were doing in the
Se on
forest that
totta.
night.
There's no escaping either. You've already cast too much suspicion over yourself to just waltz out of here. Oh, and Mr. Wrong.
What?
Let Trixie make one thing crystal clear. Trixie still knows for a fact Rainbow Trash is the true culprit of this crime.
Then why did you...
Because Trixie needs the correct facts before she can properly prosecute that rainbow loser. In fact, this whole blackmail revelation sets that motive you so desperately wanted before. Rainbow Trash killed him because the cheater and his bimbo manager were blackmailing her.
Gee, here I thought she was just being nice.
No se ei ole kyllä riittävä todiste.
I wasn't planning on leaving anyway. I'll tell you why I was in there that night and show you why it still doesn't matter. Don't sit there so comfortably, Wright. This is far from over. And Trixie? I dislike you. Just thought I'd reiterate that in case it wasn't clear enough.
I dislike
Oh,
you.
thank
Niinku se YouTube-kanava vai?
Trixie gets that a lot.
Niinku minun videota.
Wasn't a compliment, Trixie.
Itse asiassa se on aika hauska juttu, että mä en oo saanut yhtäkään niinku tykkäystä vielä mihinkään videoon, mutta en mä pakotakaan ketään tykkäämään, koska en mä itekään tykkää videosta. Tai laita tykkäyksiä videoon, jos mä ite tykkää sitä videosta silleen, että mä haluan niin katsoa se joskus uudellaan. Mä en oikein tajua sitä juttua silloin.
Rainbow Dash showed up and made negotiations with Ace. She declined and flew up high, hitting a storm cloud she put there in foresight. I watched as a lightning bolt hit Ace directly on one of the exposed parts on his suit. It sent him flying a few feet, as the prosecution stated. I got out of the forest as fast as I could. That is all that happened. This changes nothing.
This still doesn't explain why you took the golf
Nyt
club.
ei kyllä...
I still deny touching that.
Niin, se
I
mietin
only
samaa.
saw it on the crime scene.
You aren't too smart, are you? You were the last pony in there, and it was found outside the forest.
Not to mention you're the only suspect. There's no way Fluttershy could have seen the handle before that point, other than when she saw you walking with it.
Then maybe she's the one who took it out. You said your pink accomplice lost the accursed thing in that forest a week ago. Therefore, Fluttershy could have witnessed her lose it. The forest is near the cottage, after all. Though she saw me going towards town, there is a large time frame
Itse
where
asiassa
she
se
was
golfklubi
alone.
löytyy sieltä joesta,
You have no
johon sinä
way
oot
to
voinut sen
tie me to that
heittää,
golf
itse
club
asiassa.
other than what she claims she saw.
Peittääksesi todisteet.
I was simply in the forest to oversee our deal with Rainbow Dash, who I then witnessed kill Ace.
Who does she think she's fooling?
Phoenix? I don't mean to interrupt you, but
But what?
there's something that rubs me the wrong way about the testimony she gave.
Huh? There is? What is it?
Call it intuition. I think it has something to do with what I found yesterday.
I better look through the evidence Twilight gave me.
No point in hiding it. Ace and I were blackmailing Rainbow
Ristikuulustelu.
Dash. We ordered her to meet in the Everfree Forest.
Hold it! Why would you want to meet in the forest? Surely you know how dangerous it is in there.
Ace and I personally liked making these deals in secluded locations. We couldn't risk flies on the wall listening in.
And this is how you had your victims cooperate. You were able to find their weaknesses using that talent of yours.
Ja tehtiinkö tää kaikki vaan sen takia, että vain Ace pystyisi voittamaan, eli kaikille annetaan se, että ne ei saa voittaa. Muuten niille käy huonosti. Jotain tämmöstä. Sitten Rainbow Dash ei vaan halunnut tehdä niin, ja hän päätti sitten vaan näyttää, että hän ei luovuta. Niin kuin Rainbow Dashin normaali tyylihän se on. Tämä kävi saada hyvin järkeä vielä.
One being the defendant, the other... I'm sure you know who that is, right? Don't you? But both of them are going to get their just desserts soon enough.
Objection! As much as Trixie would love to see you both arrested, we honestly don't care how you cheat and manipulate. Let's get back to what you saw in the forest, Four Eyes.
Cheat and manipulate. Do you really think you have the right to judge me? What do you say we all talk about you and your pitifully weak vendetta against the defense's co-counsel over there? That's right, Twilight. It stems past the humiliation she suffered from you. Isn't that right, Trixie?
Huh. Don't even bother trying to pull that one again, lady. Trixie was a fool to let some blackmailing hussy get to her the first time. Even if Trixie has to get you off the hook for Mr. Wrong's murder accusation, you're still getting locked up.
Sanokaa muuten siellä kommenteissa, että haluatteko, että mä kuvaan nämä silleen ilman facecamia, aivan kaikki nämä videot, kun mulla tässä on tää taustakuva. Se näyttää paremmalta ilman facecamia. Vai haluatteko, että mä pidän facecamin päällä? Koska toi facecami kuitenkin vie tehoa liikaa sen verran, että video saattaa vähän näyttää hauskalta. Ja muutenkin se vähän ärsyttää noiden äänien laittamista, koska kuulet ei liiku välillä aina samaan aikaan, joten... Niin. Kertokaa vaan. Ja tällä kertaa mielellään kyllä. Mä haluan tietää. Et haittaako jos mä otan facecamin pois käytöstä.
And what were these negotiations?
For her to drop out of the race.
Niin ja loppu.
Why didn't you just
no,
have her lose?
En johku tämän
Why have her
aikana.
dropped out completely?
Several reasons. Because of her performance at another event, it's clear she's
En ole
the
ryyppääjä,
better
sori.
athlete in every way, shape,
Niille, jotka
and
ryyppäävät
form.
tosi paljon.
But the main reason was because of her arrogance and pride.
Mutta jos toi olisi tosi kylmää, niin sittenhän asia voisi olla eri.
There was a chance her competitive nature would kick in, and she would throw away all bets and try to win, even at the price of those pictures being exposed.
I've only known her for a day and a half, and that really sounds like something Rainbow Dash would do.
Itse asiassa toi Sonaton hahmo voisi olla aika lähellä, mitä munkin oma hahmo voisi näyttää. Vaikka siinä taustakuvassa näyttääkin vähän hauskalta. Mutta se oli vaan se yksi hahmo, minkä mä keksin joskus. Koska se kaikilla on oma hahmo. Mutta kun mä en halua olla unicorn sen takia.
Unlike Gilda, you actually saw this, correct?
Every solitary detail, yes.
How were you able to see all this? I'm sure Rainbow Dash would have seen you if you were illuminating the area with your horn.
That's because I didn't. The lightning itself lit up the area after she set it off. In that split second, I was able to see everything that had happened.
Would you care to share these details?
After the negotiations went sour, Rainbow flew up and hit that cloud. As you know, there are some exposed parts on that racing suit. I saw Ace look up, bewildered at what she was doing, and the bolt hit him directly on his neck. As Gilda claimed the prosecution theorized, the lightning's impact hurtled his body a few feet.
Onko siellä näytetty mihin kohtaan se osui?
I got out of the forest as fast as I could.
Niin. Siinä millä se on osuvan jälki, mihin se on osunut se lightning bolt. Epäilen kyllä, että se olisi osunut siipeen tai johonkin.
Looks like you saw things wrong here, Sonata. Or maybe you're just lying.
What are you
talking
about?
Something else should have happened there.
Something else?
Detailed right
Niin
here in
Gilda
this
taisi
autopsy
unohtaa tästä
report, there
keskustelusta.
was a burn mark on the back of the victim's neck. Sonata, if you watch these events transpire, how did he come to acquire this scar?
I left the forest right away. How should I know?
I don't think so. You didn't leave the forest right away.
How would you know that?
Do you remember what time Applebloom got out? 9 o'clock. Cursity of Sonata. Seeing as the lightning bolt hit 8:40, and it's only a 15-minute walk to the entrance, that leaves a long time frame where you were still inside the forest. In fact, it's even larger considering you admitted to teleporting out. So I'll ask again. Where did he get that scar?
Objection! She did explain where he got it. The lightning itself must have struck his exposed neck.
Objection!
Not according to another detail Sanada shared. She stated, I saw Ace look up, bewildered at what she was doing, and the bolt hit him directly on the neck.
You're right. It would have left a mark on the front of his neck if he was looking up.
Care to explain this, Four Eyes?
Front of the leg. Niin, se on osumakulma on aivan erilainen.
That mark was from the day before the incident. Ace was in a dangerous race inside of Wright's volcano and must have picked up the nasty scar from some embers.
Well, that could explain it. His schedule confirms that he was indeed racing in that volcano the day before he came into Ponyville. It would have still been fresh. This is just stupid. Of all places you could race, why would any pony with a sane mind feel the need to race in a volcano?
High risk, high reward. The prize was a treasure known as the Flame Dragon Ruby.
And I bet you two won that through cheating, huh?
We did. Problem?
Shut up, wrong. She gave you a good explanation for the burn.
Do you have a doctor's note to confirm this injury?
He didn't like doctors, so it doesn't really come as a surprise that he didn't want to get it checked out.
So you're saying he had this burn mark on his neck before he even arrived in Ponyville?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
No, jos minä saisin semmoisen burn markin, palovamman siis, niin kyllä mä lääkärissä kävisin, mutta en tiedä Acessa sitten. Kova jätkä, kovat asiat, vähän niinku Rainbow Dash.
There is something wrong here. He couldn't have had that burn mark before the incident.
Twilight, I'm supposed to be the lawyer here.
Stick to the books, Snarkle. He got that scar from his race in the volcano.
No, he didn't. And I have proof.
Twilight, you really shouldn't...
A pony named Cruise Control gave this to me yesterday.
And what about it?
It's a picture of the victim entering the forest. With the timestamp on it, it shows it was taken 20 minutes before the crime even took place.
What are you trying to prove here, Snarkle? Every pony knows when he entered the forest.
I'm not trying to prove he went in there. Look closer and you'll see exactly what I'm trying to prove.
Niin sillä ei ole sitä polttojälkeä.
You see it, don't you? There's no burn mark on the back of his neck.
Sillä ei ole polttojälkeä. Niin, juuri niin.
This proves he acquired that scar while he was in the forest. Oh my gosh, did every pony see that? That felt so exhilarating. This is so exciting! I found a flaw in her testimony! Do you all think I sounded professional enough? Oh, I'm going to tell the princess about this!
Twilight, relax!
Niin, relax!
Sorry,
Nyt.
I got a little carried away.
Maybe a little. But thank you anyway. Let me take the reins from you. Sanada, as my co-captain pointed out, he couldn't have acquired that scar prior to entering the forest.
Kuvataan tunti, eikö se ole sitten hyvä?
It was from the golf club.
102 jaksoa.
The golf club?
I'd like to hear how this golf club resulted in a burn mark.
Jos se tuli kuuma, eikä tää vedä jälkeen, koska golf clubit, eli ne on yleensä kuuma. No, jos se on kuuma, niin sehän on metalli. Metalli kuumenee.
The bolt had started a fire, and it was my burden to put it out. He fell to the ground, neck landing on the golf club and breaking it. That's how the burn mark got there. I moved the body and stick aside and put out the fire myself. I ran away from the crime scene after experiencing such an incident, but returned later when I realized I forgot to take the golf club.
Ai jaa, muka näinkin olisi tapahtunut.
So you really did take the golf club?
Yes, I did. Problem?
You were just denying earlier you...
Kysymys numero 2. Onko sormenjälkiä tai muuta jälkiä ruumiissa? Sen pitäisi tulista sekin, että onko se liikuttanut ruumista.
Then why admit it now?
Ja jos hän olisi järkevä, niin hän ottaisi yleensä sormenjäljet pois sarvellaan. Se kävi järkeä enemmän.
But why would you carry this golf club out?
Because I touched it when I moved it aside. I wanted to remove all evidence I was there.
Okay, focus, Phoenix. She's constantly revising the story. She has to run out of excuses sooner or later.
Ristikuulustelu.
When Rainbow Dash set the cloud off, the bolt was large enough to hit Ace as well as the ground.
How big was this fire?
Quite large. You were at the clearing, were you not? You'd probably noticed the scarring on the ground. That's how big it was before I put it out.
How did you manage to put it out?
I used Ace's bag to beat it down.
Wait a minute. If you took the golf club because you touched it, why did you leave the bag behind?
It didn't matter. I've touched that bag a million times before. Ace's butler too, his stylist, and even his mother when she packs his lunches.
His mother still packs his lunch? How old is he?
25.
I'm just gonna pretend she didn't answer that.
The point is, there were tons of
25.
indications others have touched it aside from me. And I wanted
55.
Rainbow Dash to pay for not
Vai meneekö se nyt ihan väärin? 45. En mä tiedä, ihan sama vaan huono englannin näissä numeroissa muutenkin. Jos joku tietää mikä numero se oli, niin sanokaa mulle ihan suoraan.
The
20.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Onko se 20 sitten 80 tai jotain, en mä tiedä. Vähän ihan sama. Unohdetaan koko ajan.
Drawing attention to the scene was my main concern.
I see. If someone were to see that fire, it would attract other ponies, and you would be caught on the crime scene.
Exactly. But it seemed that it didn't matter any longer. He fell to the ground, neck landing on the golf club and breaking it. That's how the burn mark got there.
He fell on the club?
I heard it snap as he landed on top of it. So I guess so.
And that's how the burn got there.
I hurried to the flaming area and tried to put out the fire. His body was in the way, so I moved him and the stick out of the flames. The fire must have heated up the metal on the stick, broke, and left that burn mark on his neck.
That would mean the body wasn't hurtled by the lightning. Sonata was the one who moved both him and the stick to the dirt patch where Gilda discovered him.
I moved the body and stick aside and put out the fire myself.
Objection! Sonata, what you just said doesn't line up.
Why not?
You said the golf club was laying in the fire, but just look at it. It smoldered and burnt beyond any recognition. If Ace was really laying in the fire for as long as the golf club, the exposed parts on the suit should be all burned, not just a small one from the stick. Flesh burns faster than metal. Even the suit itself would have taken damage from those flames.
Oh my! You are correct, Mr. Wright!
Your explanation doesn't make any sense, Sonata.
Sen olisi pitänyt olla tosi kauan tulessa.
Objection! Stop trying to turn anthills into mountains.
This is no anthill. A lot of things don't line up with these events if we take this into consideration. The victim could not have been laying in that fire.
Mun pitäisi katsoa se leffakin vielä, että...
Niin. But all we have is one burn mark on the back of his neck.
Vähän editoitavakin
So
tänään,
this can only mean one thing.
Niin. Huomenna saatte tätä
The
Turnabout
alive after the first bolt came
Tänään on
down.
perjantai, jos joku ei tiedä.
Objection! This is stupid. The first bolt is the only one that could have killed him.
Objection! That's where you're wrong. I believe I know what happened based on a piece of evidence.
Evidence?
I think there was a struggle of some kind.
Again, this is the most foolish foolery of your foolish fool brain in that foolish spiky cranium of yours. How could he have had a struggle with lightning?
I think this lightning has been one big red herring all along.
On what basis do you suggest the victim had the struggle, Mr. Wright?
Let's review what we know. The burn mark on the back of his neck. The golf club is really the only thing that could have done it. I have no doubt it was laying in that fire for quite some time,
10 minsaa
which
vielä.
in turn heated the metal.
Kuvataan, sitten lopetetaan tähän.
Next, the golf club itself. It was to be assumed it broke when he fell on top of it. But the body should have been just as burned as the golf club if you were laying in that fire to render it to what it is now. There's no way the body could be like it is if it were really hit by the first bolt. We find ourselves back in this question. How did the golf club burn him?
Explain.
The only answer I can draw is someone hit him with it. And I think we all know who that someone is.
Are you suggesting she hit
Niin,
him?
joku löi sillä
That's
golfclubilla.
exactly what I'm suggesting.
You just keep getting dumber and dumber. You know that?
Then perhaps you can explain where he got the burn mark. Remember, he had to have received it while he was alive in the forest, based on this picture.
Totta.
Couldn't the defendant have used the stick to hit him? I just can't see why his manager would assault him like this.
He's right. Rainbow Trash could have easily hit him. They had those pictures of her after all.
It's really sad when you have to get bailed out by the judge. Rainbow could not have done that. She was long gone after the lightning came down.
Yeah, according to Gilda. But do you remember she gave up chase to look for her package?
That's true, Rainbow could have gone back while Gilda was looking for her package. But I'm not talking about that. Sonata here was the only one who could have used that golf club to hit him. And you of all ponies should know why,
Totta.
Trixie.
What do you mean?
But how could she be the only one?
Very simple, Your Honor.
The Filly's Guide to Ponies? Is that a children's book?
Yes, it is.
I, gave that to you to read, not to, present as, evidence.
Trixie read that one while she was still learning to speak. How dare you bring such a childish item in and make a mockery of this court?
Coming from Miss Wizard Hat and Wizard Cloak. Hold on a sec. I'm just using this as a visual aid to make my point.
This better be good.
Well, this book is pretty small. It details the different types of ponies in Equestria. Right here on page 1, unicorns use magic. And we see an illustration of a cute little unicorn playing with toys, using her horn to move them. Do you see what I'm getting at here?
Hyvä pointti, koska esineitä pystyy liikuttamaan sen sarven avulla.
Any physical contact with it would have burned whomever picked it up. So that completely rules out Rainbow Dash and Gilda. And even if they did pick up the stick while it was cooled down, it wouldn't matter.
Se on totta muuten tuokin.
Thus not being able to leave that mark.
No!
That would be the case if you were anyone.
Pitää paikkansa kaikki.
Any pony but a unicorn. Sonata is the only one who could have used it as a weapon. For the simple fact she could have picked it up without touching it using a levitation spell.
Ja joka ikinen unikorni, eli yksisarven osaa sen esineiden liikuttamistaidon, se on pakko osata joka ikinen. Se on yksinkertaisin taika oppia. Niin.
That leaves two questions, Sonata.
Hyvin
Why
päätelty,
did you hit
Phoenix.
your longtime business partner, and how did he die of electrocution?
Electrocution.
To tell the truth, I don't have an answer for the latter. But I may have the one to why you hit him.
But this is wrong. She couldn't have done it. Why would she? She was his assistant.
Weren't you the one who said the motive doesn't matter, Trixie?
You!
But unlike you, I think it does matter. And I'll gladly explain what I think her motive for striking him with the golf club was. Tell me, Sonata, the reason you hit him was this, wasn't it? You were planning on backing out of your dubious blackmail, weren't you? As it says in your letter of resignation here. You probably showed this to Ace right after your deal with Rainbow went bad. I don't think Ace was too happy with your decision. This letter was torn in half. Half was found by Fluttershy's cottage, most likely blown away by the wind. While the other you must have recovered, as I found it in your hotel room. You couldn't just throw it away. Someone might find it. So you kept it in your room, while the police were busy investigating the crime scene. That's probably why you got so angry when Pinky and I intruded. You were afraid we might have discovered the meaning behind the letter. Also, the reason you didn't have us arrested on the spot. The police might have confiscated my evidence, including the torn letter, and connected it to you.
But what's the motive, Mr. Wright?
Sovitaanko seuraaviin
He's
ristikuulusteluihin tai sitten tämmöisiin muihin, niin lopetetaan.
Which is why he tore the letter in half after reading it. He didn't want to give it up, and in turn, didn't want you publicly disclosing what you two were doing.
Hei, Lone täällä. Mitä pidit videostani? Jätäpä siitä vaikka kommenttia, sillä sitä on aina kiva saada. Ja jos olet uusi, tilaappa kanavani, se tekisi mun päivästäni jälleen kerran taas onnellisemman. No, mulle ei tässä ollut mitään muuta, että se oli Lone Wolf Video. Me nähdään seuraavien videoiden parissa, ja se on morjesta, moi!